Welcome to Alpha English Podcast. I'm your host, Lisa.
And I'm Luke. So happy to be here with all of you amazing listeners today.
Okay, so today's our topic is how to talk about emotions.
Oh, I love this one. This is so important, and honestly, a little personal too.
Right? Because here's the thing. Most of us feel a lot every single day. Happy, stressed, confused, nervous. But do we actually have the right words in English to express those feelings?
Not always, and that's the problem, you know? You feel something deeply inside, but when you try to say it in English, it just comes out as, I feel bad, or I feel good.
Yes, exactly. I feel bad. That's it. That's the whole sentence.
Which, okay, it works, but there's so much more you can say, and that's exactly what we're here for today.
By the end of this episode, you're going to have so many new ways to express your emotions in English naturally, confidently, and with way more detail.
Whether you're having a conversation with a friend, writing a message, or even journaling in English, this episode is for you.
And before we dive in, if you haven't already, please like this episode and subscribe to Alpha English Podcast.
Yes, it really helps us reach more English learners around the world. And trust me, there's so much more good stuff coming your way.
Okay, now let's get into it.
So, Lisa, let's start with the basics. Why do you think so many English learners struggle to talk about their emotions?
Good question. I think the first reason is vocabulary. Like in your own language, you probably have so many words for feelings, but when you switch to English, you only know a few.
Yeah, exactly. And another thing is, emotions are personal. They're vulnerable. So even native speakers sometimes find it hard to express feelings clearly.
Ah, that's such a good point, Luke. It's not just a language issue, it's also a confidence issue. People worry about saying the wrong thing.
Right. And sometimes the translation doesn't exist. Like some languages have emotion words that English just doesn't have a perfect match for.
So, today, we're going to build your English emotion vocabulary from the ground up, starting with the basics and going deeper as we go. Sound good?
Let's do it.
Okay, so let's start with the most common emotion words that everyone knows, and then we're going to upgrade them.
Oh, I love this format. Go ahead.
So, the most basic ones are happy, sad, angry, scared, tired, right?
Yeah, every English learner knows those.
But here's the upgrade. Instead of saying I'm happy, you can say I'm thrilled, I'm overjoyed, I'm on cloud nine, or I'm absolutely delighted.
Wow, okay, that sounds so much more expressive.
Right? And instead of I'm sad, you could say I'm heartbroken, I'm devastated, I feel down, or I'm feeling blue.
Oh, feeling blue, that's an idiom, right?
Yes, exactly. Feeling blue means feeling sad or a little depressed. It's very common in everyday English.
And for angry, let's upgrade that one too.
Yes, so instead of I'm angry, you can say I'm furious, I'm livid, I'm fuming, or a more casual one, I'm really ticked off.
Ticked off, I love that one. So casual.
Right? You'd say that to a friend, like, ugh, I was so ticked off when my alarm didn't go off this morning.
Oh, wow, that happens to me all the time. I know that feeling very well.
Okay, let's also talk about scared. Instead of just I'm scared, you can say I'm terrified, I'm petrified, I'm on edge, or I have a bad feeling about this.
Petrified is interesting. Is it stronger than terrified?
Great question. They're very similar, but petrified often implies being frozen with fear, like you literally can't move. It's very strong.
Ah, okay. So if I'm watching a horror movie, I'd be terrified. But if I'm standing at the edge of a cliff, I'm petrified.
Yes, exactly. Perfect example, Luke.
Okay, so now that we've upgraded the basics, let's talk about more complex emotions, because feelings aren't always simple, right?
Exactly. Sometimes you feel more than one thing at once. Like, have you ever felt nervous and excited at the same time?
Oh, all the time, like before a job interview or a first date.
Yes, and there's actually a word for that in English, nervous excitement. Or you could even say, I have butterflies in my stomach.
Butterflies in your stomach? What does that mean exactly?
It means that fluttery, nervous feeling you get when you're anxious or excited about something, like your stomach is doing little flips.
Oh, I know that feeling. Okay, what about when you feel kind of empty or numb, like you don't really feel anything?
That's a really important one. In English, you might say, I feel numb, or I feel emotionally drained, or I feel burnt out.
Ah, burnt out. That's a big one these days. A lot of people feel that way.
Absolutely. Burnt out means you're completely exhausted, not just physically, but emotionally and mentally too. It usually comes from working too hard or dealing with too much stress for too long.
So if someone says, I'm burnt out from work, they're saying they're completely drained and need a break.
Exactly. And it's okay to say that out loud. Talking about your feelings, even the hard ones, is healthy.
Let's talk about another complex emotion, feeling overwhelmed.
Yes. Overwhelmed is when everything feels like too much at once. You might say, I'm feeling overwhelmed, or I have too much on my plate right now, or I feel like I'm drowning in work.
Wow, drowning in work. I've felt that so many times. That's so accurate.
Right? It perfectly captures that feeling of being buried under everything.
What about positive complex emotions, like when you feel really proud or deeply moved by something?
Oh, great. So for proud, instead of just I'm proud, you can say I'm incredibly proud. I feel a sense of accomplishment, or even I'm beaming with pride.
Ooh, beaming with pride. That's beautiful.
And if something deeply moves you emotionally, like a movie, a song, or a kind gesture, you might say, I was deeply moved, or I was touched by that, or that brought tears to my eyes.
Aw, that brought tears to my eyes. Yeah, I've definitely felt that watching certain films.
And here's a cultural tip. In English-speaking cultures, especially Western ones, it's very common and acceptable to express these deep emotions openly. Phrases like, I was moved to tears, are not seen as weakness.
That's such an important cultural note. In some cultures, showing emotion, especially in public, can feel uncomfortable, but in English, expressing it clearly is actually valued.
Exactly, Luke. So don't be afraid to use these expressions.
Okay, so now that we've upgraded the basics, let's talk about more complex emotions, because feelings aren't always simple, right?
Exactly. Sometimes you feel more than one thing at once. Like, have you ever felt nervous and excited at the same time?
Oh, all the time, like before a job interview or a first date.
Yes, and there's actually a word for that in English, nervous excitement. Or you could even say, I have butterflies in my stomach.
Butterflies in your stomach? What does that mean exactly?
It means that fluttery, nervous feeling you get when you're anxious or excited about something, like your stomach is doing little flips.
Oh, I know that feeling. Okay, what about when you feel kind of empty or numb, like you don't really feel anything?
That's a really important one. In English, you might say, I feel numb, or I feel emotionally drained, or I feel burnt out.
Ah, burnt out. That's a big one these days. A lot of people feel that way.
Absolutely. Burnt out means you're completely exhausted, not just physically, but emotionally and mentally too. It usually comes from working too hard or dealing with too much stress for too long.
So if someone says, I'm burnt out from work, they're saying they're completely drained and need a break.
Exactly. And it's okay to say that out loud. Talking about your feelings, even the hard ones, is healthy.
Let's talk about another complex emotion, feeling overwhelmed.
Yes, overwhelmed is when everything feels like too much at once. You might say, I'm feeling overwhelmed, or I have too much on my plate right now, or I feel like I'm drowning in work.
Wow, drowning in work. I've felt that so many times. That's so accurate.
Right? It perfectly captures that feeling of being buried under everything.
What about positive complex emotions, like when you feel really proud or deeply moved by something?
Oh, great. So for proud, instead of just I'm proud, you can say I'm incredibly proud. I feel a sense of accomplishment, or even I'm beaming with pride.
Ooh, beaming with pride. That's beautiful.
And if something deeply moves you emotionally, like a movie, a song, or a kind gesture, you might say, I was deeply moved, or I was touched by that, or that brought tears to my eyes.
Aw, that brought tears to my eyes. Yeah, I've definitely felt that watching certain films.
And here's a cultural tip. In English-speaking cultures, especially Western ones, it's very common and acceptable to express these deep emotions openly. Phrases like, I was moved to tears, are not seen as weakness.
That's such an important cultural note. In some cultures, showing emotion, especially in public, can feel uncomfortable, but in English, expressing it clearly is actually valued.
Exactly, Luke. So don't be afraid to use these expressions.
Okay, so we've been talking about a mix of casual and formal expressions, but let's actually separate them out. When do you use formal language about emotions, and when do you use casual?
Great point. So, casual language for emotions is what you'd use with friends, family, or in texts and social media. And formal language is for work, professional emails, interviews, or academic writing.
Can you give us some examples of the same emotion but in both registers?
Absolutely. So, let's take angry. Casual, I'm so mad right now. Or, I'm ticked off. Or, that really got on my nerves.
Yeah, those all sound very natural in conversation.
I'm quite frustrated with the situation. Or, I must admit, I'm deeply disappointed by this outcome.
Wow, the formality difference is huge. I'm so mad versus I must admit I'm deeply disappointed by this.
Right? Same feeling, completely different vibe.
Let's do another one. How about stressed?
Casual. I'm freaking out. Or I'm losing my mind with all this work. Or I'm so stressed I can't even think straight.
Oh, I say I'm freaking out all the time.
Same. Okay, formal. I'm finding this situation quite challenging. Or I'm under considerable pressure at the moment.
Wow, under considerable pressure. That sounds so composed, even when you're actually panicking inside.
Exactly, and that's the beauty of formal language. It lets you stay professional even when you're genuinely struggling.
What about expressing happiness formally, like in a work email?
Great example. Casual. OMG, I'm so happy about this. Or, that's amazing. I'm literally over the moon.
Literally over the moon. That's so enthusiastic.
Formal. I'm very pleased to hear this news. Or, I'm delighted by this outcome. Or, it is with great pleasure that I share this update.
Ah, it is with great pleasure. That one is very formal, like something you'd write in an official letter.
Exactly. So the key takeaway here is always think about who you're talking to and what the context is. Then choose your words accordingly.
So, to summarize, casual expressions are natural, relaxed, and emotional. Formal expressions are measured, composed, and professional. Same feeling, different presentation.
Perfect summary, Luke.
All right, let's talk about mistakes, because this is where learners sometimes go wrong with emotion language.
Yes, and please don't feel bad if you've made these. They're super common. We're just here to help you sound more natural.
Okay, mistake number one, overusing feel bad or feel good.
Right. So many learners say, I feel bad for every negative emotion. Sad, guilty, sick, uncomfortable. It's all, I feel bad. But in English, being more specific sounds much more natural.
So instead of I feel bad, what should you say?
Well, it depends. If you're sad, say, I feel sad, or I'm heartbroken. If you're sick, say, I feel unwell, or I'm not feeling great. If you're guilty, say, I feel terrible about what happened, or I feel really guilty.
Ah, okay. So feel bad is like a catch-all that's too vague.
Exactly. Mistake number 2, using the wrong verb. Some learners say, I am feeling happy, when they should say, I feel happy.
Wait, what's the difference?
So for emotions, we usually use simple present, I feel, but I am feeling can work too in certain contexts, like when the emotion is temporary or happening right now, like I'm feeling a bit anxious today. That's perfectly fine.
Okay, so both can work, but simple present is more common for emotions in general.
Correct. Mistake number 3, translating emotional idioms word for word.
Oh no, yes, I've done this.
We all have. So, for example, in some languages, there's an expression like, my heart fell to my feet for shock or fear. But in English, you'd say, my heart dropped or my stomach dropped.
So, my stomach dropped? What does that mean exactly?
It means you've suddenly felt scared, shocked, or nervous, like that sudden sick feeling in your stomach when something bad happens.
Oh, like when your boss calls you in for a surprise meeting.
Exactly. My stomach dropped when he said we needed to talk.
Okay, mistake number 4, using nervous when you mean excited.
Yes, this is a very common one. In some languages, the word for nervous and excited overlaps, but in English, they're quite different. Nervous has a negative edge, anxiety, worry. Excited is positive, anticipation, enthusiasm.
So, if someone asks, are you nervous about your wedding? You'd say, I'm so excited, not I'm so nervous, unless you actually are nervous.
Right. Context matters. Okay, now let's level up one more time. We've talked about vocabulary, upgrades, formal versus casual, and common mistakes.
Yes, and I think this next part is my favorite, real conversation phrases.
Exactly, because knowing vocabulary is great, but being able to have a real, deep, emotional conversation in English, that's the goal.
So, let's say someone tells you they're going through something hard. What do you say?
This is so important. First, don't immediately try to fix their problem. Instead, show you're listening. You can say, that sounds really tough, or I can hear how much this is affecting you, or I'm really sorry you're going through this.
Those are so simple, but so powerful.
Yes, and if you want to ask someone how they're really feeling, not just the polite, I'm fine answer, you can say, how are you really doing? Or, is everything okay? You seem a little off today.
Oh, you seem a little off today. That's such a caring thing to say. What does off mean here?
Off in this context means not quite yourself, like something seems wrong or different. It's a gentle way to notice that someone might be struggling.
Ah, so it's a soft way to check in. I love that.
And if you want to express your feelings to someone, you can start with, can I be honest with you? Or, I need to get something off my chest. Or, I've been feeling a lot lately and I just need to talk.
I need to get something off my chest. That's a great idiom. It means you've been holding something in and need to say it, right?
Exactly, like a weight on your chest that you need to release by saying it out loud.
What about if you don't have the right words? Sometimes emotions are hard to explain, even in your native language.
Yes, and it's okay to say that. You can say, I don't really know how to explain it, but I feel, or it's hard to put into words, or even just, I'm not okay right now, and that's all I know.
Wow, that last one is really powerful. Just admitting, I'm not okay, is actually really brave.
Absolutely. And in English, being emotionally honest is a sign of strength, not weakness.
That's an important cultural note, too. In many English-speaking cultures, talking openly about mental health and emotions is becoming more and more normalized. It's okay to say, I'm struggling, or I've been feeling anxious lately.
Completely. And if you can do that in English, you're not just being linguistically advanced, you're connecting on a real human level.
Okay, Lisa, we've covered so much today.
We really have. Let's do a quick recap so everyone can lock this in.
All right, number 1, upgrade your basic emotion words. Don't just say happy or sad. Say overjoyed, heartbroken, thrilled, devastated.
Number 2, learn complex emotion vocabulary. Words like overwhelmed, burnt out, emotionally drained, and beaming with pride add so much depth to your English.
Number 3, know when to use casual versus formal emotion language. With friends, I'm freaking out. At work, I'm under considerable pressure.
Number 4, avoid common mistakes. Don't overuse feel bad. Be specific. Don't translate idioms word for word. And remember, nervous and excited are different.
And number 5, practice deep conversation phrases. Saying things like, that sounds really tough, or I need to get something off my chest, makes you sound genuinely fluent and emotionally intelligent in English.
Exactly. And that's really the point of all of this. Emotional language is connection language. When you can talk about feelings in English, you build real relationships.
So don't be afraid to practice these. Use them with a friend, write them in your journal, or even practice saying them out loud by yourself.
And hey, if this episode helped you, we'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment and let us know. What emotion word was your favorite from today?
Mine was beaming with pride. I just love that one.
I love that too. Mine was butterflies in my stomach, just so visual.
And if you haven't already, please subscribe to Alpha English Podcast. We release new episodes regularly, and every single one is designed to help you speak English more naturally and confidently.
You are doing amazing. Every episode you listen to, every new word you learn, it all adds up. Keep going, keep practicing, and remember,
Your English is growing every single day.
thank you so much for being here with us today on Alpha English Podcast. I'm Lisa.
And I'm Luke. Until next time, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and keep speaking.
Bye!
See you next time.